anyone who someone like Angel would say something like that to. Which is possibly why, when the barista does what I'm suddenly desperate to do and asks her what her name is, and she says Angel, I can't help myself. So I say Angel too, just to get the feel of it. Trouble is, I've said it just as the noise from the coffee machine behind the counter stops. So she turns around. And it's even worse, because she's gorgeous, in a describe your ideal woman kind of way, even though she's probably not at all what I'd have described before I first saw her. And I suddenly lose all sense of, well, everything. She smiles at me, her expression a mixture of interest and amusement, her mouth turned up at the sides, but her forehead slightly wrinkled, as if she thinks she's heard something but she's not sure what. And that's the moment that seals the deal. But because I've just fallen in love, something that's happened to me, let me think, never in all my 35 years, all I can do is stare back at her. And after a second or two, she evidently starts to find this a little disconcerting, so she gives an almost imperceptible shrug, as if she's imagined the whole thing, then turns back towards the counter. Sensing this is a window of opportunity that might never open again, I mentally kick myself up the backside and take a deep breath. Angel? Do we know each other? She says, glancing over her shoulder at me. Ever the smooth operator, my mumbled, no, puts us in danger of being over almost before we've even begun, though I just about keep the window cracked open with my hastily tacked on, that's really your name? She nods. Angel by name, angel by nature. Actually, scratch that second part. She flashes me a smile. Why shouldn't it be? No, it absolutely should be, I say, then worry that sounds cheesier than it was meant to. In the sense that you can, of course, choose to call yourself exactly what you wish, and not that you are an angel, though I'm sure you're very... It's short for Angela, says Angel, counting out her £2.60 and handing it over to the barista. Right. My heart's pounding, and for some reason I can't seem to formulate my thoughts to concentrate on anything but Angel's absolute loveliness, because it takes me an uncomfortably long time to come up with... Not really short, then. Shorter. True. I think for a moment, aware that I have to be nimble on my feet, but like the uncoordinated old weatherman who's always the first to be booted off strictly, the best follow-up I can manage is... Well, I think it's a beautiful name. Angel, I mean. Not that there's anything wrong with Angela. Thank you. I'll be sure to pass that on to my parents, she says, stepping around to the side of the counter, seeing as they're the ones who chose it. Right. Thanks. So, there's more tutting from behind me, which I assume is a criticism of my chat-up technique, until I realize Angel's sidestep has put me at the front of the queue, for ordering a coffee at least. Hurriedly I move into the space Angel's just vacated, and seeing as I've never been in here before, I order the first thing that comes into my head. I'll have what she's having. Name? Says the barista. Angel, I say, assuming he wants to know who she is. Your name. Noah, I say, loudly enough for Angel to hear, even though I suspect the window of opportunity has already slammed shut on my fingers. And while I'm grateful that Angel now knows my name, I'm a little mystified as to why they should be asking. Why? For the coffee, says the barista, as if explaining something to an unruly toddler, then nods towards where a different man with an identical hair and beard and tattoos combination, which I'm beginning to suspect is part of the uniform, is fussing over a machine that wouldn't look out of place in NASA mission control. And while I'm confused about why the coffee needs to know my name, perhaps this is some new ethical approach like carbon offsetting, I know what I'm drinking, so it's only fair that what I'm drinking knows me. So, I say, at the precise moment I realize he's indicating the display on the till. I manage to find the exact change, but instead of seeming pleased when I smugly hand it over, the barista gives me a look, and it's only when I notice the tips cup on the counter in front of me. Embarrassed, I root around in my pocket for an extra 20 pence, but I've only got a 50 pence.